Hey Yoda brothers, what's up? It's the director back here with Playbook.gg, bringing you guys a little bit of content about Madden Ultimate Team. Been having a lot of fun with these videos, sharing my opinion on some of the best cards to pick up at a good price here every single week in conjunction with some of the great plays and some of the great schemes you're going to find here on Playbook.gg. So before we get into Director's Top 5 this week, I do want to go over what's going on with the market. We've seen a couple of different market crashes here in the past couple of weeks due to one of them being golden tickets and the other one being the Easter eggs dropping on Sunday and all opening at the same time. When you see a whole bunch of cards flood the market at the same time, you're going to notice the prices of these average cards come down in price quite a bit. And you know what? Happy accident. With golden tickets coming out on Thursday, you can expect the market to take a little bit of a hit every single Thursday because everyone's going to be ripping packs trying to get one of these golden tickets. You guys today are probably trying to get yourselves a new Bo Jackson. That's the one I know of at the time of recording this video. So expect the prices of everything else to come down. So that's a really good way to start building your teams. Maybe aim for Thursdays during the day when the golden tickets come out for the first time. I would say maybe at the top of that hour. You know, for 1 or 2 hours, the market should be really exposed. Go ahead and pick up the cards you want in that window because you're not going to find them at a cheaper price. So getting into the director's top 5 this week, decided to do something a little bit different. We're going to go back a couple of promos just because I feel like all we got were golden tickets last week, and those are a little bit unobtainable by the average Madden player because of the price. The price is just way too high. So with that, let's get into our number 5 player, Darren Waller. We're going to go through a couple of promos here, guys, and you know what? Some of these are kind of diamonds in the rough. Players that people don't really think about when building their ultimate team because they just kind of follow the meta. No, be your own person. Find good advice. Look at these players individually, you know, as MUT items to determine what you want in your team. What Darren Waller is going to offer you is some of the best speed with some of the best height in the game at the tight end position. And not only that, but his run block is absolutely spectacular for the speed and all the other attributes you're getting in this card. In my opinion, you know, being a humble Chargers fan, it's not easy to admit when a Raider is really good. This is a really good tight end. It's going to be really hard to beat Darren Waller as far as a new tight end coming out in the near future to usurp him. Like, he's going to be just the most dominant tight end probably for the rest of the year until we get possibly a George Kittle. So this is definitely one of those I'd highly recommend picking up. Again, that speed to height ratio is ridiculous. The last couple we saw sold for around 160,000 coins. Guys, that is a steal. This is coming from a guy who uses Antonio Gates. I'll tell you what, Antonio Gates has been fantastic. He's just so freaking good with those matchup nightmare scenarios. I think a lot of tight ends are, but he does not compare to Darren Waller and what he brings. They're very similar, but just Darren Waller is so much faster. So I'm going to say player number 5 this week is Darren Waller. Player number 4 this week. This one's going to be interesting. It's probably going to catch a couple of people off guard. It's going to be Derrick Brooks. Derrick Brooks. Okay, so the first thing, face value you're going to see on this card is 88 speed with really terrible power moves and finesse moves. But that's not what this card is about. I'm looking at you guys in 4-3 formations. That's the kind of thing you're going to want to look at for Derrick Brooks. He's going to be one of the best pass coverage outside linebackers in the entire game. I would recommend powering him up, you know, getting Coach Madden, getting, you know, Sprinter or Brawler or something on him as well, trying to get his speed up as high as you can. I would say at least to 92, you should be looking really nice. But speed isn't as crucial in the position that he's playing. Sure, speed is king. Speed is the most important stat in Madden Ultimate Team. But at the same time, for his position, for where he is on the field, you're going to be using something else that he has very uniquely on this card that not a lot of other cards in the entirety of MUT actually have, and that's going to be zone coverage. 90 zone coverage stock on Derrick Brooks. If you're looking for somebody to be, you know, a pass coverage outside linebacker, somebody that can, you know, really, you know, hold down the middle of the field and underneath while your pass rushers are getting to your opponent's quarterback, this is going to be the guy you want. And he reminds me a lot of a player from Madden's past. If you guys remember, his name was Paul Posluszny. This card, he was an outside linebacker for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was absolutely just so slow. But people loved him because he had 90+ zone. He absolutely wrecked out there. People would underestimate him because they think this guy's too slow to keep up. And then all of a sudden, you know, Posluszny's coming out there, you know, picking up picks here and there. And he's just been absolutely so good in pass coverage. And he reminds me a lot of this Derrick Brooks. I think the Derrick Brooks is definitely a lot faster. And especially if you put on those chemistries, he's going to be one that I think is going to shock a lot of people. So if you are in the kind of position where you need coverage outside linebackers, this is the guy I would recommend 100%. Look no further. Coming up in our number 3 spot, a wide receiver with like absolutely crazy catching. It's going to be Andre Reed. Now this Andre Reed's going for a little bit too much. I think I've seen him sell for somewhere around 160, 180,000 coins very consistently. This is a bargain deal right here, guys. Take a look at this wide receiver, 6'2", 94 speed. Really decent route running, especially if you power him up. But look at that catching. That kind of catching is the sort of thing you find on tight ends in Madden Ultimate Team. He's going to be a very, very reliable target with some excellent speed as well. Again, you guys go back and look at that Darren Waller from a couple of minutes ago. The catching is going to be super similar to this Andre Reed, and Andre Reed lines up out wide. So this, I would feel, is going to be a fantastic option at wide receiver for any Madden Ultimate Team player. Again, one of those players that kind of gets overlooked unless you're, strictly a Bills fan. I think you're a Redskins fan too. Unless he fits on your theme team, not a lot of people pay attention to Andre Reed, and I think they really ought to. You take a look at his archetype as well. He is a slot wide receiver. He's probably going to be one of the best slot wide receivers in the game. I use a slot wide receiver in Keenan Allen, who has similar stats, but he's much, much slower, and I can tell you, dude, he is so reliable on those like converting sort of situations where it's like 3rd and long, you need to get that first down. You're going to have to throw it into traffic over the middle of the field. Andre Reed's going to be that kind of guy you can rely on as a safety blanket to pick up those first downs, especially with like tight end caliber catching. But not only that, I mean, that speed, that jumping, the route running on top of everything as well. I think he's one of the most underrated wide receivers in Madden Ultimate Team right now. And honestly, just talking about it makes me want to pick him up and try him out for a couple of games a weekend league, because this guy is absolutely so impressive with his attributes. But again, guys, in the comment section below, just because attributes look good doesn't mean a card plays amazing 100% of the time. So in the comment section below, I do want you guys to leave some of your opinions on these cards. If they are on your squad, are they reliable, or maybe are they underwhelming? And do they hold what we call the Mutt Force factor, where maybe their stats don't read so great, but they absolutely overperform. They absolutely perform 100% over their rating. So that's kind of the sort of stuff that I'm looking for in these videos. So Andre Reed's going to take the number 3 spot in this video. Now taking our number 2 spot in this list, our runner-up this week. This is one of my favorite cards in the game. Again, there's so many great options at this position. This player sometimes does get overlooked. Let's take a look at Ken Houston. This card is absolutely wild, guys. Okay, there's several parts of this card that are absolutely insane. Let's start from the top right here. 6'3". You guys know that in coverage, with better reach, you're going to get better animations. If you can catch a ball over a shorter receiver, you're probably going to win that matchup, 50-50 balls a little bit more often. So 6'3" on Ken Houston, one of the taller, strong safeties in the entire game. That's a huge edge right there. 94 speed is definitely nothing to take for granted either. You can go ahead and power him up, put Coach Madden and Sprinter on him. He's going to get yourself to 98 speed, which in my opinion is end game at the position. 93 acceleration, 89 tackle, which is great for a safety, 93 play rec, 92 pursuit, 89 man coverage. So again, you power him up, you're going to get that 90 man coverage and also above 90 zone coverage combination, which is crucial, especially if you're going to be playing him, in man coverage. You're going to be playing him in zone coverage. He's going to hit those thresholds where he overperforms, above those other guys that are really hard hitters, but maybe lack a little bit of man coverage, like in our Pat Tillmans that we've seen all year. And then 92 hit power on top of that. Absolutely insane. So this is one of those guys I also recommend as a user. If you put him in at strong safety too, and then maybe put him in as sub linebacker, he's going to be one of the better users in the game because of that reach and because of the hit power and because of all of the aspects that make this card great. So I'm going to say Ken Houston almost took the number 1 spot for me this week because he is just that good. He's going to take the number 2 spot in this week's video. Now at the number 1 spot, this one I'm going to recommend you use a power-up pass on just because of how expensive he is at this moment. And I will give you a little bit of a budget version of him as well. It's going to be Michael Strahan, Ultimate Legend, released this past weekend. This guy, I mean, I told you guys I wanted to dig deep in older promos to look at the cards of the week, but this one is so good I had to mention it on this week's show. Take a look at this, man, dude. 84 speed, which do not take that for granted. That is pretty decent speed for a defensive end. Like, that is pretty solid. 6'5", 91 excel, 95 strength, 94 tackle, 96 play rec, 96 block shed, 98 power move, 94 finesse move. It's actually borderline ridiculous. This card, statistically, stat-wise, like, he should be absolutely unstoppable. If I wasn't such a huge Joey Bosa fanatic. This guy would be on my team right now because of what he offers you in pass rushing, also in run defense with that 96 block shed, 95 strike, and the pass rushing being just so. Some cards only get 94 finesse move, maybe 89 power move with okay block shedding. This guy has the full combo. So I think Michael Strahan is definitely one of the best pass rushers, one of the best defensive ends in the entirety of Madden Ultimate Team. Yes, he's expensive to power up, but you're going to have to use your power up pass because right now he is legitimately selling for 1,000,000 coins. But this is one of those guys where I think, yeah, this is probably what I've been saving my 98 power up pass for. But if you do not have your power up pass, I do want to offer a budget version. This guy is absolutely insane as well. I don't normally do this, but with a 1,000,000 coin card, I want to give you guys options. Julius Peppers. Obviously, you guys have seen him all over Madden Ultimate Team. You're going to want to power him up. 90 block shed, 90 power move, 96 finesse move is what he's going to look like powered up with really, really decent speed as well. So I would say if you're on a budget, 123,000 coins really isn't a lot to ask. And if you guys are opening packs this morning or you're, on Madden Ultimate Team during this market crash for the golden tickets, which I'm pretty confident is going to happen, you could probably get Julius Peppers for around 100K, which is absolutely insane. So Julius Peppers going to be your budget option, but the number one player this week's going to be Michael Strahan with a power-up pass. Going to be absolutely insane. Well, guys, once again, thank you so much for joining us this week on Director's Top 5. If you guys like these videos, hit us up with a like and sub, and hit us up in the comment section below with recommendations of other players that may be diamonds in the rough. Specifically, I love those theme builders players. There were so many 97s that came out that week. Not everyone's played with a majority of them, so I'd love to hear your guys' opinion for some of the better 97s from other promos that maybe have been overlooked. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Director on Playbook.gg. We'll see you next time, and as always, stay frosty.